Society has failed us. The average cost of a 4-year college degree this past year was $100,000. The median starting salary for a college graduate, around $55,000. So now you have young adults early in their 20s with 6 figures of debt, little to no financial education, working 40+ hours a week, stuck in a hamster wheel for the next 40 years. Now if you budget correctly, are modest in your spending, save up every single penny you have, and you'll finally be able to not quite buy a home, because in 10 years the prices will have doubled again. Welcome to the economy of the 21st century. Hey, I'm Alex, and in this video we're going to talk about escaping the matrix, or the rat race, or the hamster wheel, and what I'm doing now to not be poor for the rest of my life. Now, you can say lots of things, like back in the day it was just as hard to buy a house, or even harder. That's just not true at all. Even though interest rates were crazy high back then, I'd much rather have a 50% interest rate on a $50,000 loan than a 5% interest rate on $1 million. And if you don't believe me, 50% on $50,000 would end up being about $750,000 on a 30-year loan, whereas 5% on $1 million would be about $2 million 30 years down the road. We're living in different days, my friends. The old method of get a degree, get a job, buy a house, start a family is dead. I'm not saying college isn't worth it. Of course, there's always going to be those degrees like doctors, dentists, engineers that are going to need their education. But even then, universities aren't very efficient when it comes to bang for your buck. You practically spend the first 2 years in classes you don't even want to take, and you're not going to remember for the rest of your life. Fortunately, there's still a way out of this rat race. Step 1 is to build your active income. One of the biggest financial lessons that I've learned throughout my life up to this point is that you need to stop trading your time for money. Clock in, clock out, here's my hours, give me money. This just isn't good enough in today's world. Take junior bankers at Goldman Sachs, for example. They make about $100,000 per year on average, but they just found out that they work nearly 98 hours a week, the equivalent of being paid $22 an hour. This means that you could practically get 2 full-time jobs at fast food chains and get paid nearly the same as an investment banker. So yeah, you want to work 100 hours? Be my guest. But there is a better way, and that is to just work to provide value. For me, I'm in outside sales. That means I get paid based on the value I provide to a company. The trade-off here is that if I don't bring in business, I don't get paid. Commission only, baby. What's great about sales is there's no ceiling to the amount that you can be paid. If you put in more time, yeah, you're probably going to make more money, but then you can hone your skills, become more efficient, and then get paid more by spending less time working. In the end, there's no limit to how much money you can make. Now, this doesn't mean necessarily quit your day job, join sales, but what you can do is find a good side hustle. Take what skills you already have and monetize them. For me and my wife in college, we were both Division I volleyball players, and we didn't have much time to spare. So for supplemental income, we both did some coaching on the side, both teams and individual private lessons. In these cases, a buyer is paying for the expertise of someone. So the more you know in a field, the more you can charge. This way, if you want to earn more money, all you have to do is level up your skills, gain more knowledge, become more valuable, and then you can increase the price of what you're charging for your service. Private lessons for teaching someone sports, music, art, those are all great options, but you could also make products to sell online. Like if you crochet or make a sweet mixtape or, I don't know, something like that. Link in bio. Just kidding. Whatever you do, there's a way to monetize it. And don't be afraid to offer your services for money. If there's true value you're providing, there's no shame in putting a price tag on it. At the end of the day, working a 9 to 5 isn't the end of the world, but you need to find something else that you can scale so that you're not limited by a salary cap. Step 2 is to build passive income. The recipe of how to retire is pretty simple. Figure out how much money you need each month, build passive income streams equaling that amount, and that's it. Really. So if you feel comfortable living off $100,000 a year, all you have to do is figure out passive income investments that are going to pay you that much money, and then you can retire. Sounds easy, right? Now, to be honest, I don't really have a clear number in my head of what I need to retire, but I do know that if you just slowly build up your passive income investments, you're going to get closer and closer to that number. Now, there's tons of strategies to do this, but mine is to build a big real estate portfolio and have a dividend stock portfolio as well. The first video I posted on here, I talked about how I bought my first rental property. The rental income I receive each month from that property is going to be a part of my retirement plan eventually. On top of the rental income I get each month, I get tax benefits, I get appreciation, and I get equity buildup, which all help toward my end goal. Now I'm working to buy more and more of these cash flowing properties to add to my real estate portfolio. The other method is dividend stock investing. A dividend is a share of a profit for owning stock in a company. You can look up a company's dividend yield and it'll tell you exactly how much you'll be paid each year based off the price of the share. Take Johnson & Johnson, for example, who are known to pay a pretty solid and consistent dividend at 2.54% each year. For their stock price, this means that you're going to get paid about $4 each year just for owning part of their company. Plus, if the company continues to do well, the stock price overall is going to go up, and so then your entire investment is going to increase. So both of these methods are great for building up your passive income, and then once you hit that magical number, you can just retire and then stop working and then live large at the beach. In summary, you want to build one or two or multiple income streams that don't have a cap and that you can scale so that you can dump more and more money into these passive investments until you reach the point where your passive income is replacing your active income and you can eventually just retire from everything and you don't need to work. You don't have to go to work every single day. This is how you break out of the game. If you want to learn more about building active income streams, finding passive investments, or just building wealth in general, hit that subscribe button and follow along on my journey. See you in the next one.